Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is Weekly Shonen Jump for the week of December 22nd, 2019. On the cover, we have the entire, well, not the entire cast of Weekly Shonen Jump, but everyone being published in English. I mean, it is basically everyone at this point, except for Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs. It's a good cover. I mean, to be fair, everything has been moved around, I assume, to actually make it more of a banner as opposed to a vertical thing. But I think it more or less works out pretty well. Like, I was gonna say, like, most characters are facing, like, to the bottom left, and that is the case for a lot of them. And there is, like, a vague semblance of something going on here. Like, Luffy's sliding down the slopes. I guess, like, you kind of have two or three different factions. You've got the people who are treating this like a slope, and the Deku here, I guess you could kind of assume he's treating it like a slope. Like, you can't really see what's going on with his feet, but I'd imagine there's like a snowboard there. Then you've got like all the characters having a snowball fight, and I'd count Asta in the snowball fight group. Actually, no, because he's next to Emma, and Emma's making a snowman. So maybe Asta's making a snowman or just a big snowball. He does look very, like, just happy to have made a snowball. So, sure. And then, okay, I guess it's supposed to be, See, the one problem in this theory, I think you could, like, split it into the faction that is, treating this as a, like, as a hill that they're, like, skiing or snowboarding down. The faction having snowball fights. In the middle, you have Emma and Asta just making snowmen. The We Never Learn girls are watching the snowboarders. And then over here, you got Senku, and he's just kind of doing his own thing. He's just being a weird child here. But I mean, that I guess that's a Senku sort of thing to do. It's so weird because he's also like he's facing the like a completely different direction than I guess not. I guess he's vaguely looking at the people who are snowboarding. But he's also just, using his RC car here. Oh, it's so weird. Because, like, I wouldn't say that, like, even the snowballers, I wouldn't say they're cohesive. Like, it is very clear, like, just kind of vaguely working because they all happen to have snowballs. But, like, I think it works well enough. It's really just Senku that sticks out like a sore thumb to me. And I think part of it's also just Boichi's shading. Like, with everyone else, like they're they all have vaguely similar like things that are highlighted. The We Never Learn girls look kind of weird, but they're off to the side, so you can just imagine that whatever, doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this. It is fascinating. Like, it's fascinating because it isn't fully cohesive. If it was all the characters just doing one thing, like last year's was the tree, and they were all like putting up decorations, and that was almost completely cohesive. It was weird because one or two characters happened to be drawn strangely, but it was all just the same thing. The fact that we have like these multiple factions of different characters all doing different things is what really like surprises me. Because like I'm curious to know like which creators like said that they're going to do X or Y thing first. Because I do feel like it probably was that Oda wanted to do Luffy's snowboarding, and then a bunch of other creators decided, okay, I guess we'll also do snowboarding. And then, like, it's mostly, like, the smaller series that have the cohesive snowball fight going on here. Anyways, I'm a little too captivated by this, so, first of all, before we do anything else, let's look at my, my slimmed down list of series that I'm reading. So if you didn't catch this, check out the video that I uploaded right before this video, in which I explained my new system of, what I'm doing now. I stripped away most of my series. I'm only doing, like, 7 right now. And once Reboot's over, which this is the final chapter of Reboot, it'll be 6. We'll see what happens from there. Like, I did take out Promised Neverland, which I do like. And, like, if we get closer and closer to the climax and I feel like it's really picking up, I will put it back on. Like, this isn't a long and hard, like, these are the only series I'll ever do. It's more of a, like, this is the bare minimum, and if I do end up picking stuff up later when I have more time, I will, but for now, like, this is more sustainable than my 2.5, 3 hour long recording thingies that I've been doing. Anyways, let's stop with that. Also, me just rambling on, probably a big reason why these take 3 hours to record, so let's move right into Agravity Boys, Chapter 3. I'm going to be 500 AU. Now, I don't know what that actually means. Like, the first thing comes to mind when I see the the term AU would be golds. So it could be 500 gold or 500 aurum or whatever. It could also be something else. It could also be like a measurement of time, actually. I don't know if they brought up what the calendar in this world is yet, but maybe. Okay, so it's a flashback to Geralt's, like, where he was prior to all of this. This is actually an aesthetic I don't think I've really seen before. Like, having this many hollow panels up at once. Like, I've definitely seen series where someone has, like, 4 or 5 of them up and they're, like, zipping them around and stuff. But this is so excessive. I'm the boy who would solve the mysteries of the cosmos. And now I'm... I mean, it looks like he's dying. If people learned that I die on this primitive planet before fulfilling my life ambition, they'd probably laugh. Okay, we've got a... Yeah, it's got the ridges of a pineapple, but it's more circular. I actually do hope they focus a little on the survival aspect of the series, because like they have the technology needed to sustain. Like they have clothing and shelter. They clearly they're working on getting food. It doesn't seem like food's going to really be a problem. I mean, I guess that is the point of this chapter. That he almost certainly ate one of these, got poisons. I hope they don't fix it in this chapter. What am I saying? It's going to be the mysterious being, right? He's going to definitely offer them like a buffet or something. Gerald, why? I guess we have the 3 genres of trying to find food that they can eat, and just choosing poop, and just choosing mushrooms. But like, I don't understand why he's upset with Chris, because the others are I guess they're not being adventurous. I guess that's the thing. They're just being stupid. Oh boy, he's gonna poison himself. I really love what a strange jerk he is. Like, he definitely has that... It's such a hard character type to do. The scientist who is just, sort of too out there. But so far, he seems to be working out pretty well. Like, I don't like his gags that much. They don't really make me laugh, repeatedly. I definitely don't think he's the funniest character, but he's been surprisingly good. I'm usually a fan of this kind of character, but I'm usually not a big fan of this kind of character in a comedic setting. I wonder if that also means that, like, it was mostly just trial and error, then. Oh no, I really don't want to see the shonen humor. If it's not my personal bathroom on the ship, I can't poop. Oh no. Oh no! I mean, I have heard of people like this. But, oh boy. Also, now I really hope we don't see it, because it's 5 days worth. Jesus. Have confidence in yourself. The sphincter of the boy who will unravel the mysteries of space is no flimsy thing. I mean, regardless of anything else, they are his friends. Like, they must be more used to this than we give them credit for. Ah, and that's why he brought up the quartet before. Oh boy, what are these? What are these? I mean, depending on how they depending on how they spin this, these could be, like, actual, like, sentient creatures. Like, these could be characters in the future. Or I guess they could just be monsters. If they really want to, these could be food. Also, did not take Chris for, the character here who would just pull out the gun immediately. So I guess, like, he wouldn't have helped with the escape at all, so fair. The truth is, I've already known. Space can basically be explained by the word friends. That's an interesting statement. Like, one of my top 10 Kamen Rider series, Kamen Rider Forze, is a series that is like, the 2 core themes of the series are space and friendship. And I do agree, like, space can be, like, human interaction with space can be summed up by the word friends. Like, no person can do it alone. The exploring space is fundamentally something that does and will in the future require the cooperation of human beings. Oh, jeez. I mean, that's also a very self-sacrificial move, because I don't think he can pull Baba up. Like, he's a thick boy. You're almost there. I know you can walk the rest of the way alone. Did he do it? Did he manage to do it? I mean, honestly, I think it would also be, like, not a happy ending, but it might be better if he just shits his pants. Because, like, then, the gateway would be opened. Like, he wouldn't have this problem of, I can only go on the ship. It's a good... Not even a 2-page spread, it's a... like, how do you... There's a phrase for that when like it's a column here, and then the middle is like the big spread, the big panel. But it's good. I don't think it's a fantastic page, but like it's good. It gets the point across. Not my favorites. Oh, I feel so weird not putting Actage down as the the series that is both the start and the finish. But this is gonna be a low one. It was all right, but I think chapter 2 has it's still my favorites. I am glad the chapter 3 showed that we can do chapters that don't involve the mysterious being. Like that doesn't have to be the crutch of the series. But at the same time, I think this chapter also kind of proved that they kind of need it. Because the boys just doing shenanigans on their own is okay, but it's not that great. I mean, for a Geralt focus, it was fine, but it was a bit mediocre, both emotionally and comedically. With that, let's move on to Black Clover, chapter 234. So, last chapter, we got the big drop of, Yuno's secret royal past. So I guess the big question is he going to just skedaddle over to the Spade Kingdom, or is he going to talk to the Golden Dawn and create his own squad, which would be the preferred way of doing this? Because now that all the elves have flipped over, I feel like the series doesn't have to vilify the Golden Dawn the way that they did before. They've become a lot less strong. They're more scattered. The people they protected probably don't trust them nearly as much. I think this would be a really good place to do a not redemption arc per se, but a just a focus on them where they are now the underdogs, as opposed to being the top dogs. I mean, legitimately, I do think this is fine. Last chapter, I was a bit split over it, and I resolved myself with the with the conclusion of it's fine, wherever he's from. In fact, I think it's good that he is the chosen one, in contrast with Asta just being a literal nobody. And I really have solidified on that over the course of this week. I really hope that Asta doesn't turn out to be someone super duper important, because I think that would just make the contrast work even better. Black Clover has been a series about contrasts to some extent. I think it would be great if Yuno is he is the chosen one from, the brink of nowhere, but he was actually abandoned. He's actually super special, while Asta gets to just be, the fluke. The one who has nothing special about him apart from, his circumstances. I wonder if this will also be a way to both, first of all, it would get, to, it would open up the path for Asta to be Wizard King much more quickly than Yuno, in the sense that, if Yuno's not from this country, then maybe they wouldn't want him to, to have the highest office in the country. I mean, there is the normal king, but, he doesn't matter. Plus, he's not elected or anything. You can't become the normal king. But on top of that, it could also potentially, split up the spirits a bit more, as opposed to having, 2 of the 4 concentrated in the Clover Kingdom. It's not like that gives the Clover Kingdom a really big edge or anything, but it would be a way to redistribute power. And, it would allow us to explore the Spade Kingdom, after this arc. I assume this arc is mostly going to take place in the Spade Kingdom, but after that, we could have a big setup where we are, jumping around the world with each arc. The rest sent their thoughts and their magic with me, so that I could tell you everything, the whole truth. Yes, he's got flashback magic. Also, what is that design on his grimoire? It actually looks vaguely Cloverish. Okay, that's it. That's actually a big montage. I was assuming we were going to go into more of a traditional flashback, but oh boy, whoops. To be fair, this is probably the most Black Clover way to do it, in that it's just all of it. I hope we get another chapter that, goes through it a bit more slowly and linearly, but also, I guess we don't need to know his entire life story in great detail. Also, wait, where did he get this one from? If these are, the rest sent their thoughts and their magic with me. But who had the perspective of either being Yuno or being someone who was on the same bed as Yuno's mom after she gave birth to him, while she was saying, "Thank you for being born, my darling." That has to be one of his memories, right? The others, I assume, aren't. I assume those are his / the memories of various passersby, or not passersby, but servants and whatnots. But this one in particular is so weird. It stands out enough to make me think that it might be a trap of or something. Like, these could be fabricated. Or maybe not. Also, this is much more like... That's actually a cool way of doing it, where, like, it's the fire, splitting apart each panel. But, like, they are actually panels. Like, you can read it more normally. But even then, like, I'm going to go forward assuming this isn't fabricated, but it is extremely possible. Like, I thought for a moment, like, oh, because he's bringing up the siblings, but, would know about them eventually. So it's very possible that he's, slipping in a bit of a lie. And it is extremely straightforward, too. Like, I can't really see a thing here that would be a clear lie. Okay, with as much magic as you have, I'm sure you already know, but what I've just shown you are things that actually happened to you. None of it was false. But, like, the technique is called Trace Mirage. So it's... like, it's so weird because he said, the rest sent their thoughts and their magic with me. But then these are, like, I guess the implication is that they're all things that, was there for, even if he wasn't fully aware of them. Like, even if he didn't have the brain power to figure it out. Like, this magic is able to take what did happen to him and then show it to him. Oh, it's so weird, though. Like, depending on how it's set up, this could be extremely broken. If you can just, like, if you have a, 360 view of anything that happens around a person, whether they were aware of it or not. But even then, like, I never thought that was going to immediately go, like, okay, I guess I'm not from this kingdom anymore, I'm gonna just leave. But, like, I do feel like the end goal of this might be, right here, like, right now, he is loyal to the Clover Kingdom. I think at the end of this arc, he might finally decide, like, this is the place I am from. Like, the Clover Kingdom is where I was raised, it's the place I have the deepest attachment to, but I do want to protect this other place, the place that I am physically from. Okay. So the Golden Dawn headquarters are under attack. Which is... Oh, boy. Okay, so Xeno is just straight up here. Like, we're already doing a big boss fight. I mean, it is the Black Clover way. But, as I was about to say, like, this does fit into what I wanted from this arc. Like, the fact that they were able to attack the Golden Dawn shows that, the Golden Dawn are not the top-tier big boys that they used to be. Which means we could have an arc where it is Yuno and, the Golden Dawn members that we've seen thus far, like the ones that we haven't really had any focus for. It can just be them working together as a squad, going to the Diamond Kingdom, or the Spade Kingdom, and kind of just doing what Aston Co. have been doing, but, just in a different location. I think that'd be a good way to, to have both parties on the move again, to have them both be, like, part of the same arc, because at some point I imagine they will intersect. It's just, didn't go, as quickly, but he's going to get there faster. But I mean, before then, I guess we're just doing this right now. And whether Xeno skedaddles or not, I am excited to see what this fight's going to be like. Because, like, we have raised the stakes to the point where, like, we do know of, like, multiple captains and stuff in the capital who would be... I mean, we don't know how strong Xeno is. But we know there are a lot of big boy contenders. And people who have fought, like, devil magic before, so... Like, I'm hoping it's... I don't know what scale I want this fight to be at. Like, definitely not, like, not a kingdom-wide fight again. That might be a bit, exhausting. But I hope it's something that does, like, show that Xeno and the other siblings are legitimate threats. Also, I assume that's supposed to be his eye glowing, right? Like the zzz sound. Anyways, that's Black Clover. It was a good chapter. Gonna slap it right above Agravity Boys. I think that's fair. Not a whole lot to say about the chapter itself, like that I didn't already say. I appreciate how efficient it was, and like I don't really think we need to explore any of this more than just like, hey, here is proof that has a family, essentially. Like this is how you got here. Like this is literally from the moment you were born to like the moment you're dropped off. This is everything you need to know. That's it. We're done. We're not revisiting it. Anyways, that's Black Clover. Next is Mitama Security Spirit Busters, Chapter 18. Starting off with Yuko. I'm Yuko, one of the spirits haunting Rena Haze, or as I like to call her, Haze Rena. Why? No, why? Oh boy, tell me about this totally cray-cray sitch. I mean, I'm glad we're getting her to do the recap. I do like in-character recaps. Wait, did she ever call Rena Haze Rena before?
Not that I can remember.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a thing or not. I don't know.
I definitely don't remember it. It's also a strange character quirk because it's not like she created a nickname for her or shortened her name or anything. It's just I say her name backwards. Oh boy, okay. We'd fight the Securite way. Let's see how it is. Donut's theory was that it was basketball. My theory was that it's going to be a Davy back fight. So, what will it be? It's baseball. Oh boy. I've watched a fair bit of baseball, but I don't understand baseball. I mean, I understand the rules, but I don't know like what makes someone good in a certain position at all. So I guess we'll see. It is strange that P and Ta both got, the outer fields. Like I know what those are. That's where, if a ball goes way out there, you have to run and find it. I guess they do zip around though, so they might be the best choices for that. For the the outfields then. Yeah, why baseball? How is this a Securite way? Oh yeah, his friend did show up. Okay. Oh yeah. Is that Babe Ruth? What? Wait, what? He's a fake. Which is even stranger. Who is this man who looks exactly like Babe Ruth but has a Kansai accent? How? I mean, it does immediately head off my initial problem of why would Babe Ruth be in this line? How did he not pass on a long time ago? Why would he be in Japan? Honestly, yeah, Zofiro does look mad. Like, I didn't bring it up before because I thought I was reading into it, but like, the toes do look like a mad scowly tooth thingy. And that's true, yeah. He is from the tunnel. Like, they did make a big deal about him, until halfway through the chapter when he just left the tunnel and was completely chill. Oh boy, come on, Zobiro. I mean, there's really only two ways they can do this. Either this is a fantastic pitch, or it's complete trash because he's using feet. But I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's really good. Oh no, it was the mysterious third way. Or actually, no, never mind. I think that is, it is a good pitch in the sense that you can't stop it. I mean, does he not know that she has spirits around him? Or around her? I guess not.
Who? Soya?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always been a thing. He
Oh,
has
okay.
zero spirit.
I mean, I knew that, but I thought someone at some point mentioned that she was possessed.
I think they have, but he still just keeps thinking that she has, like, power.
Okay. Huh, damn. He's actually got normal eyes for once. That's so weird. That's such a strange face. Like, for Joe specifically. Don't worry, Mitama. You'll survive. Is no one on my side here? It's like it's 17 on 1. He's exercised even the most powerful evil spirits using only his elbows. With his overwhelming elbows, he's the one rumored to be closest in strength of the Four Eyes Lieutenants. His elbow speed is second to none. I do think that is a cool looking ability. I mean, it'd look cool if he did both elbows. As it is, it looks real dorky. Which, fair. Oh, is this an execution? Oh, an exorcism. Hey, he caught it! Okay. So I guess this is going to be a multi-parter, which I'm fine with. This is a good setup for gags. God, Zofiro's design is fantastic. Like, of all the characters in Mitama, he's really the only one I would want, like, a figure of. So good. Overall, pretty good chapter. Not my favorite, but, like, it was decent enough. I'm glad that this is as, I guess, as, like, setup-y as I wanted it to be. Like, I basically just wanted it to be, like, a multi-chapter thing, as opposed to the last quote-unquote serious arc we did, which was an intro to a serious arc, and then not. Like, I'm hoping this is going to be at least, 2 more chapters apart from this one. I think that'd be fine. Like, any longer than that, it might get tiring. Unless the mangaka just wants to make the entire, like, second half of this volume just baseball. Which would also be fine, I guess. Anyways, that's Mitama. It's alright. I guess I'll slap it between Black Clover and Agravity Boys. Because, like, it wasn't a standout chapter, but it was better than the Agravity Boys chapter. Next is Chainsaw Man, chapter 52. Lost Love, Flower, Chainsaw. Again, one of those 3-word chapter titles. I mean, this is technically 4 words, but I assume, like, in Japanese, it is, like, it probably is 3 kanji. At the very least, it's a 2 comma title, which is what I'm mostly focused on, like, that pattern. I mean, I guess like, this is not, in fact, a fairy tale. It's just legit, right? It was supposed to only be a fairy tale, until a newspaper ran a story on how that secret room really existed. So, like, regardless of whether she is, like, also some, like, some level of, like, devil royalty or something, at the very least, like, that explains the speaking Russian. And I guess we should assume at this point that she is still working for the Russian military, or the USSR, or whatever they are in this universe. Hey, okay. I mean, honestly, I did not think we were going to see her for, like, a while. But then again, I mean, Denji did say, I'll be waiting for you, and if there's one thing we know about her, it's that she's an idiot. Or, no, that Denji is an idiot, so how is this gonna go down? I mean, to be fair, she does seem to have a legitimate soft spot for Denji. Like, she could have beaten him up some more and then taken him away. Like, he was on his last legs. So, how is this going down? Oh boy, what is this fresh hell? This thing looks like it's shaping up to have a real Oogie Boogie design. What the fuck? Wait, what? What? What the fuck was this? I mean, my main problem is that this doesn't fit with any of her previous abilities in the slightest. God damn. And I love how, like, she's not even, like, immediately pulling it. There is the big sweat drop. Like, she is... Does she actually think she's, like... What the fuck? Also, specifically, I mean, I was too taken with the whole, oh, it's Makima thing to realize that, oh, she's also continuing the conversation about the country mouse and the city mouse. So, did she tap Denji? Was she there? What the fuck? Rats hide in the soil in the fields. They'll damage the crops. So before the ground can be covered by snow, you have to exterminate them. You do it by digging into the soil and having dogs catch and kill them. And I couldn't tell you why, but I find watching that to be very calming. Now, is this Aki? What? What is happening? God. I mean, okay, so let's roll it back a bit. I mean, the big thing is the swarm of rats. Like, that has to be supernatural. My immediate assumption with, like, this fighting is, like, is she using some sort of teleportation ability? But then also, actually, like, the arm being cut off looks like it's being done via, like, blood manipulation. Like, sort of like Power's ability. Like, it looks like she made a blade, like, yeah, like a sword sort of thing out of blood. But then this looks like it was just straight up, like, either teleported in or, like, slammed down. Okay, never mind. That is Angel Devil. So that explains that. Okay, Makima's abilities are slightly less confusing than I thought they were. Actually, did she bring everyone in? Because that would explain this, too. Like, if Power is here just off-screen. Okay. But we don't have any characters that could do the big swarm of rats that then turn into Makima. That's the real outlier. And separate from that, okay, the other things we've seen Makima do, quote-unquote, have been the people that tried to assassinate her were all, like, they all had giant holes blown in them. We had the whole thing with the prisoners and the various, like, people working against them, where she was able to sacrifice each individual prisoner in exchange for, like, squishing the people that she wanted to kill with, like, her hands? Oh, what is this fucking ability? But I guess I am calling that this Bloodblade is actually just Power just off screen then. It does calm me down a lot more to know that this was a setup. Though, to be fair, I don't think it was a setup. Or rather, I don't think when Denji said, "I'll be here, come find me," I don't think he was setting up Reize to be killed. I'm assuming that, the rest of the team just found out about it and decided to set up this trap. Really? Why didn't I kill you the first time you met? Denji, truth is, I've never gone to school either. Is she dead, though? Like, is she legitimately dead? I mean, it's a lot of blood loss, and she doesn't seem to be regenerating. But it's also like, that was so simple. I mean, part of it might be the big spear. Like, I'm assuming the Angel Devil created that spear specifically to inhibit her powers. Or, I mean, she wouldn't have to. I mean, yeah, we wouldn't have to inhibit her powers at all because she doesn't have any until she pulls the ring, the devil trigger. I guess it's also, like, if that's it, if Reize is dead here, then that would also hammer in how fragile Denji really is. The idea being that, if he can't transform, he is surprisingly easily killable. You didn't want to make Aki kill a girl. You're kind. I am an angel, after all. Yeah, as much as Aki hates, devils of all shapes and sizes, I do think they're beginning to build, if not a friendship, at the very least, like, a mutual understanding. Like, honestly, I think they have a better relationship right now than Aki and Denji do, where the two of them just don't like each other, and that's fine. It's whatever. But I think Angel Devil, like, has that empathy that most devils and fiends just straight up don't. Also, yes, it legitimately did just occur to me that that she used the mice specifically to to carry on the Country Mouse City Mouse conversation. But how? What was that? Okay, let's keep on going. Poor Denji. And yeah, I guess this does confirm that he didn't know. Like, he did not set up Reize. It was everyone else working around him. Power. It's power. Also, I was confused for a moment because he says "puh," but I do think she was. Yeah, like, it's not that the bubble's coming from Denji. I'm pretty sure it's her coming into the room and screaming "puh puh puh power." That feel when you dislike a girl so much that you would rather eat the bouquet you're holding than give it to her. That's. I mean, is that the end of this arc? Is it? With Chainsaw Man, I can never tell what an arc is. So maybe this is the end of the Reize arc, quote unquote. If so, though, oh man. Honestly, not a bad way for it to end. Like, Denji can at the very least assume that she left. Though I don't think that's going to be the case. Like, the team would definitely just bring up, hey, we killed her. There's no reason why they wouldn't. Like, they're not the kind of people who would try to spare her his feelings. God. Well, that's Chainsaw Man. Also, chapter 52. An entire year's worth of, like, technically it's been more than a year just because everything in Jump, like, Jump itself takes breaks. But this is, a year's worth of chapters finally. And what a year's worth of chapters it's been. Hot damn, we've done so much. The series really has a fantastic pace. But I guess that's... Like, I legitimately don't know if this was the setup for future characters from the Soviet Union, or if this was just, the epilogue to Reize's existence. Like, just, yeah, that's what she was, and now she's gone. Either way, man, oh man. Really, really good chapter. I think I've already expressed all my indignation as to what the hell is going on with Makima. It has to either be her ability or someone else off screen. Like, I do think because Power was there in that last shot, I do think this was Power off screen, just, using her ability. So it could be that Makima has a third devil around who just, who had the rats come in and form a human shape. She could have teleportation abilities to some degree. Like, that's what I thought was happening with the arm being removed for a moment. Like, did she just teleport off, the flesh here and the flesh here, like, to create a slicing motion? And I think you could have a half and half of, like, a devil was contracted to make the rats do that, and then she teleported, she swapped herself with the rats, perhaps. But it does look like she is formed from the rats. And we do get, the cut to Reise's face, obscuring whatever might actually be happening. Like, maybe that is literally her turning into herself, or maybe it is just that she's covered, like, there's a big column of rats, and then she teleports out the inner column, replacing him with herself, and then that hole is just opening up because she's talking. Okay. My big guess is going to be that Makima does... Again, I don't even know what that would be, though, because, like, it can't... Teleportation would not explain the squishying of, all the people in exchange for the prisoner lives. Which did seem to be like, oh, I don't know! What is happening, Makima? How does she get more and more confusing every time we see her do anything? I do love it, by the way. Like, just in case that's not coming across in the tone of my voice, I do adore her as a character, but God, she is such an enigma. That is Chainsaw Man. It's going right to the top. That was a good chapter of Chainsaw Man. All right, next is Dr. Stone, chapter 134. It'll take everything the Kingdom of Science has got to crack through the Petra beam. Senku's got until the beam hits him in order to figure out the secrets behind it. We do know that most of the crew made a sort of like human link, which I do think that is to show Senku specifically like how long it takes between being touched by the energy and being petrified, and like the rate at which the orb is moving. Nukio doing legitimately one of my favorite tropes of all time. The thing where you're about to die, and instead of just being vague, you just start screaming everything you know. So the device is voice activated. You gotta specify its range and number of seconds. Both factions consider us to be too dangerous as cards to play. It's unlikely they'll revive us again. Okay, we've got our small collaboration here. If they ever get revived, they'll be bros. They'll find each other in the new worlds. Okay, Dr. Stone, Z equals 134, Commander face-off. And Senku's fingers are being turned to stone. I mean, yeah, that's the whole island. I really assumed this chapter was going to be, like, as it gets bigger and bigger across the island. But no, that's pretty, like, not instantaneous, but nearly. That whole thing must have only taken, like, god damn. Oh no, it's the bad crunch. I mean, in terms of last-minute plans, that worked out pretty fucking well. How can this old man not laugh about it when I'm the last one standing on the islands? What are they doing? They're all lined up, and they're all striking. Not the same pose, though. Like, Chrome has a fist up. Risui has 2 fingers up. Gen has 4, 5.
I think you mean specifically, not like their hand,
but like the
arm.
Yeah, like it is generally the same pose. I wonder if that's supposed to signify 0 or 1. Because I feel like it's meant to be some sort of a countdown of like how long it took for the beam to hit each of them. Like Chrome just put his fist up and then that face. Oh boy. He looked even uglier when he was younger. And he just honestly worked really well with his character. Like, he looks good as an old man. This looks wrong. He actually looks like one of the suitors trying to marry Amaryllis, like right at the very start of this arc. Like, he's got the same weird mustache thing. I didn't think about it before because this mustache looks like it's carved onto his face, whereas this one looks way more bulgy. Okay, that's an interesting note. Like, the reason why Soyuz has the cheat level memory is specifically because, like, the line of the priestess is, like, the priestess / the village leader is raised specifically to have people who have good memories so they can pass on the 100 tales. That's actually an interesting note. It doesn't really work with Kohaku, though. Like, Kohaku doesn't seem to have... I mean, I guess we've never seen her have a shitty memory, but we've never really seen her have a great memory either. Also, is that not his mom, then? Like, I guess that might just be a lady, then. Although, I guess it could also just be a, like, she's kidnapped her own son. Like, by virtue of him being the next in line, we were supposed to have him.
By the way,
Mm-hmm.
fair to say,
Yeah?
not every single child they have should be, top tier level memory and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, it would make sense that, there would be some.
Right. I guess. I guess Kohaku is just a fluke, then.
Yeah, I mean, like, she still has, like, cheat level eyesight and
Right.
stuff. So she has some sort of it, but
Mhm.
not quite.
Yeah, fair. Jesus Christ. Like, he's not even, like, open palm striking Soyuz or anything. He just picked up a giant rock with both hands. Like, enjoy his eternal sleep. Let me grab a giant fucking rock. He didn't even break Soyuz's head.
It's not Soyuz.
He didn't even break this random dude's head. Oh, wait, that's supposed to be, Miracle Man, Arashi. I see. That would explain why he didn't try to break the head, because he was trying to get to that sweet, sweet, stony boy, the Medusa. Okay. So did Senku find a way to get out of this, then? I mean, that's the implication, but it could also be a Jotaro versus Dio situation in which they just laid out the footprints to lead to the lab, which has a bomb in it.
So they'd all be stoned forever.
Maybe. Like, just as a fuck you to Ibarra.
Final chapter.
The plan is, we create a fake trail to the lab, and then we put a bomb in the lab. But I mean, it is just making sounds, so it looks like it's just trying to lure him in. Oh shit! Okay! 5 meters, 1 second! But it didn't activate. So maybe it does have to register, like, a live human voice. Like, maybe it can tell the difference between a recording and an actual voice. That said, that's almost certainly Senku. I mean, it could also be, Yo, but I assume it's Senku. Ha, damn! I mean, the chapter title was, the two commanders. So I kind of figured that he survived, but still, how? How did this happen? And specifically, he still has the cracks on his face. So it's not a situation where, like I have heard the theory before of what if Senku just throws some, juice into the air and then gets stoned and then falls on him. But clearly that didn't happen here. Like, it is, original post-stoning Senku. So he did find a way to either not be touched by the light, or he found a way to escape the light? But it was something that he could only do himself, I assume. I guess, to be fair, we don't know that. Like, there could be other people that were saved, but the implication at the very least is it was just him. And his fingers were turned to stone. We did see that. I think we're only seeing this one.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
No, yeah,
No,
we see both hands.
yeah, those are both hands. And before, yeah, it was definitely the fingers on his left hands that were being turned to stone. So somehow, between this moment and this moment, he found a way to not get the rest of himself turned to stone. Huh. But what could it be?
I do think that the pose they were in was supposed to be an actress.
Okay.
Because it's a circle expanding. It's not just like a a flat weight. It'll be curved.
Right. Yeah, but like, my initial assumption going into this was that this chapter was going to take place as the light was expanding. So this automatically, that immediately killed off most of my theories as to what could possibly have been happening. So I am quite legitimately at a loss as to because also the other thing is that Senku's fingers were being turned to stone. It's not that we just straight up didn't see him and then we saw him later, showing that maybe he hid somewhere that was unstony.
That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
We know that's not how it works.
Yeah, because the entire planet got turned to stone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely, it's not that would be absurd if it would just be
you could hide in a cave.
Yeah. Be hidden in a bush.
But yeah, that means that either I mean, it could have been he waited until some of his fingers were turning to stone, and then he dipped his fingers in the unpetrifying juice. Because, once both reactions are happening, the not petrify juice outweighs the petrify.
The speed at which it happens.
I could see that.
If he lets his fingers get petrified, spins around, and then dips that hand in the petrifying, and it'll start.
The idea being that at some point on his arm, the reverse petrification, the breaking out of stone, would catch up to the turning him into stone and then go past it. which would explain why he still has the cracks on his hand, on his head.
Right.
Because, like, it's not that he was completely turned to stone and completely changed back.
Well, yeah, what he would have to do, I guess, is, let his fingers start getting stoned.
Right.
Then quickly dip them that way it starts to work. Run through the, like... Well, how would he... No, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
How would he get through... Or, I guess, he would have to get in the lab and let the lab somewhat outrun the petrification beam as it's taking over.
Yeah.
But again, like, how would he ever, like, the wave would still hit him at some point. The whole wave.
Yeah, and like the lab didn't go that far, all things considered.
No. That's the big thing. It can't be anything of like the petrification, the unpetrification outdoing it, because he still has the fucking scars.
God. What could it be? Because also, like, he didn't have much prep time at all. So, like, my immediate thought of, it was something that blocked the lights really doesn't work because he had no time to set anything up that could block the lights. All we have really is the axis of human beings. What could this be? I mean, I guess it could also be a reaction time thing of, from the moment you see, the moment you see Chrome turn to stone, put up how many, just keep on putting up fingers. So that would explain, like, because it does go from, nothing to 2 to 4 to 5, and then someone in the back, maybe Amaryllis, we can't see what's going on with her hands.
How to be more than 5?
I mean, maybe her other hands also got some stuff up. Like, maybe...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, the others could all be doing the same pose, because they're just doing, like, the generic one, whereas she could have hers be slightly different. Because, like Ibarra's not looking at her, and we as the audience are not looking at her, so she could have a slightly different pose.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Also, I think his mustache does look like a mustache right there.
Yeah, it is coming off. Like, in this panel, too, where he's looking up, like, clearly it is not on his face. But yeah, hot damn, what a chapter. I mean, I'm not going to try and, like, drag this out any further, because I really don't have a solid theory for what happened. Like, if I have to give one theory, it would be he de-petrified and re-petrified himself at the same time, but that does not explain his face. And his face is the most intriguing part of it, because his face was not turned to stone. Whatever happened here, his head was not turned to, it wasn't changed to stone and then back. His face is fine. Well then, that's Dr. Stone. Boy, good chapter. Really good chapter. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as the Chainsaw Man chapter, but I think that comes down to just, like, the fact that the big enjoyment from this one is the lingering mystery. The fact that I am going to be thinking, until the next chapter, I'm going to be trying to figure out what the hell happened here. Whereas with the Chainsaw Man chapter, it was more of a arc finale sort of thing. So it was more satisfying in the moments. With that in mind, let's move on to a different finale. The Dr. Stone Reboot Byakuya finale. 3,572 years since the petrification event. We are getting there. Like, we're getting to 3,700 years. I legitimately, like, I am glad that this is, like, we have stuck to its Rei. The big question then is, how does this end? Is Rei going to continue to exist in outer space? Or does Rei, like, just crash to the ground? Or even, does Rei notice that Senku revived himself? I mean, actually, we do have one thing. There is the first, like, man-made lights. I can see that being the thing that ties it all together. That Rei was there to see, like, all the artificial light on the planet disappear. He saw the fires of civilization, crumbling down as, just the infrastructure that we'd built up, got destroyed as the power plant started to explode. He could be there for that last glimmer of, of Senku creating the first new artificial lights. Which would also, like, that would tie into the fact that he has this light that he's been constantly keeping on to try and signal Byakuya. Like, I guess you could say it'd be weird for Senku to not notice that, oh, there's one satellite still up there, still flashing a light at Japan. But I'd be willing to write it off as just, like, he didn't think, that would be a bit of a plot hole. But I could also see it as just being like, Rei's light dies off. Like, he just can't handle it anymore. and then, in his last moments, he sees Senku flashing that final light. I like that idea so much because we now know in Byakuya's final moments, he saw Rei's light, regardless of whether he understood it to be actually Rei's light. He did see it, so it'd be a good, it'd be a good parallel. Okay, with that, I will collect the last satellites and orbits, which also cleans up it cleans up space itself. So eventually, in Dr. Stone, when we go into space, if it turns out that there are no satellites left, I could see the series bringing that up without even saying that, without having to tie it to 2 reboots. They could just have Senku say, oh, there's nothing out there. I guess it's just, because they all fell over 3,700 years. With the collected satellites serving as raw materials, it is time to craft, but I will not be reconstructing the space station. This will be my greatest masterpiece to date. A giant robot. For what purpose, though? Z equals 9. I am here. So, if he can't create a place that the astronauts can come back to, is he going to just focus on keeping up the lights? Because if so, I could see the finale I'm imagining. We've got Tsubasa wo Kudasai playing. It has been 3,600 years since then. Lillian's auto data is damaged. On the tiny little, gachapon ray on there, where we would have never noticed it in the series itself. But it's there. That's an interesting plan. So, basically, he has, it's all set up on these physical discs. So, he can't do it himself. Or rather, that's going to be the final thing. It's going to try and recreate the space station plus Rei itself. I mean, not wrong. The fact that Rei does not realize that all the humans are dead is that's the reason why it's able to continue on. As tragic as it is, it's also, it is inspiring in a weird way. Okay, not what I expected. So Rei went for that specific design. And it did manage to come back together the day Senku awoke. So, Byakuya, Rei really did it. My 3D printer operated for 150 years without error. Hot damn. But this can't be the ending, right? This has to end in tragedy. Okay, and this is right when they were making the, the complicated glassware for the sulfa drugs. Which does explain, that it's a little shaky, but I'll buy it. The reason why Senku never noticed it was just because he wasn't looking up. That and the fact that, actually, I guess no. Because it did happen the day Senku awoke. So it was there the entire time. It's just he's never thought about it. He's never considered it as an actual possibility. Oh, that is tragic. It's tragic and it's not. It is a hopeful end. Rei is still there. The big question, I guess, is, will this ever be canon to Dr. Stone? Because, I mean, I can't imagine so. The moment that Chrome learned that Byakuya's name was Byakuya, or that Senku's dad was named Byakuya, that would have been a big, oh boy! Though, to be fair, can Chrome read Japanese? I don't remember if that ever came up in the series or not. I don't know if there is a written word that most of the people in the village use. Because most of what we've seen, the roadmaps and stuff, have all been just symbol-based. There was, Byakuya did pass down Japanese to some extent, right? Either way, I'm fine with it. If Senku goes into space and sees, new Rei 01, I'd be, my mind would be pretty blown. It'd be a pretty insane curveball to throw. At the same time, if it doesn't happen, I'd still be fine with it. Whether or not this is canon, I still enjoyed it quite a bit. It was still a good story. It was a good story that also did what I really have wanted from a series like this. I'm a big fan of taking the hard left turn. Doing something that isn't impossible, but that is, extremely wild. And this was the wildest possible spin-off I could have thought of. For Dr. Stone. It is completely insane to think this could have happened in the same world as Dr. Stone, because it's so sci-fi. But I do like it. I do love it. It's so... It scratches an itch that no sane mangaka would have ever wanted to scratch. But it is fantastic. Hot damn. At the very least, if nothing else, it's definitely going to just be around as, the deep lore. the lore that the anime reader or the anime watchers don't get to have. I mean, what do I do with that? I it feels weird to put it above Chainsaw Man, but I do think like it was a better ending than I expected from the series. Like I said at the start, there's two options, and I had very little faith that we could have, the big happy ending. But Boichi did it. The absolute madman. It's got to be at the top. It was so ambitious. That's really all I can say. It was so absurdly ambitious. So with that in mind, let's move on to our final series, My Hero Academia, chapter 255. I was just about to say Dr. Stone. No, Eraser, don't do anything stupid. I mean, I wonder, because, like, theoretically, like, he is just using the same hardware, quote-unquote, like, the same physical body, but that shouldn't, like, there shouldn't be anything left, right? Holy shit, Horikoshi. I mean, I've always really liked Horikoshi's, like, ultra deep shading. My favorite example, of course, being the Shigaraki face, the Shigaraki face, the one everyone thinks of when you think of Shigaraki's face. The one where he's trying to grope Deku, and we get, like, the shot of, the shot from his chin up, and it's super gross and detailed. I think this is a close second, just because I never expected to be able to look into the flowy, black, shadowy shits. I just kind of assumed that was just always going to be there, so, hot damn. I mean, even so, he's literally, like, he is a Frankenstein. There's no way this is going to lead to a good ending. I mean, I know I literally just said that about the last series I was reading, and then the series said, screw you, we're gonna do it, so, Hospital. Are we tying this back to, is it even a theory anymore? I guess technically it is still a theory. The theory that the gold-toothed doctor that's, said that Deku didn't have a quirk is the same man as Ojiro, the doctor working for All for One. Technically, that's still a theory because even though they look the same, like the series hasn't ever confirmed it, but this might be our confirmation if he is working out of the hospital. God damn, All for One. Oh man, this is so low res. I would like to see what this is. I mean, I'm assuming it's mostly just Liberation Army stuff that we already know about, but still. The pieces are in place. All that remains is to... What the fuck is happening here? I mean... It... I mean, I guess it is as simple as just Shigaraki being chained to the whatever this is, the lumpy torture mats. But, like, is he being nomufied? I guess that, because I mean, the ultimate being, a man who possesses unlimited power. I guess that's really the only implication you can have is that he is being physically nomufied here. Also, I do love the English Haas. Like, it took me a moment to realize that. Like, oh yeah, this isn't being retypeset or anything. Like, those are just English Haas. It is very Joker-esque. Well, let's... The only thing I'm a little concerned about is that we might have a new Shigaraki design, like, so quickly after we just got his new, like, fairy mode hair. Though I guess that could just be, like, it's a half step towards what he's supposed to look like as, as big final boy Shigaraki. Also, this is, like, it's not a good dynamic pose, but I can definitely see someone making a figure of it. Like, with the floating Haas in place. It is, like, it does look very iconic. It's got that Spawn look to it, actually. Like, especially with the smile and the big, like, crotch thrusty pose. Oh boy, well, whatever's going to happen. I mean, I guess we could just leave it to, like, the heroes learn about the hospital, they learn where this base is. As a result, the professor has to move everything. But why did I say professor? The doctor has to move everything. And then that would be a reason to wake up all the other high ends. Like, if they can't move the tanks or anything, if they just have to move under their own power, that'd be a way to raise the stakes of, oh no, some of them freaked out and ran away. It also means that we wouldn't have the question of, why don't we just keep on doing this to other characters? Because, the shit's all gone. Still a bit shaky about this arc in general, but good chapter. Like, I do think in relation to everything else in Jump right now, it's sort of middle of the road, like, or it's the middle of what I would post here. Like, I would say this goes right below Black Clover. Because, like, it was a good chapter, but I think the Black Clover chapter was also really good. Actually, I might put it above Black Clover, actually. Because, like, this was... it was a mixed bag of a chapter. I thought the first half of it was okay, but like the emotional beats didn't hit me that well. Whereas the second half was much more exciting. Like that's where it started to really come together for me, and then this, this climax is one hell of a climax. Yeah, I think that's fair. So those are all the series I'm reading today. Feels really weird to be done this early, but it is what it is. Let's move on to the author comments. Wait, where are the author comments? Right, the mangaka musings, I mean. Sorry. Every time I see Andrew, I think of Ando Ryu and laugh. Thank you so much, Miyazaki-sensei. What? I feel called out. I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. I do assume, of course, that Kaiju Shirai is talking about me personally. Because of course she would, but... I mean, also, she said Miyazaki-sensei, which, I mean, I know there are many, many Miyazakis in Japan, but my immediate assumption whenever someone says Miyazaki-sensei is Hayao Miyazaki. Thank you so much for the comment, Tabata-sensei. I dedicate the space here this week to you. Nakamura, that is a sneaky move. Because, I mean, I guess any mangaka could theoretically do that if they have nothing to say. They could just say, this week I dedicate the space here to this other person. It's a good deflect. The recent Jujutsu Kaisen chapters have been all about, how many times did you say Satoru Gojo? The preview to next year's MCU movie. Oh boy, okay, I didn't know that was even out yet. It's like the preview. It's gotten really cold. I've gotten sick a lot this winter. My throat still hurts. Hope you get better, Horikoshi. This year had an anime adaptation, 2 serializations, and more. Yeah, I mean, it's been a big year for Dr. Stone. And a well-deserved year. I'm glad that this is the year of Dr. Stone. Still no Dr. Stone porn as far as I understand it, though. Like, not a lot of doujins, apparently. Still. Even though we had the anime. What is happening? I was so honored to get to draw a poster with all the Shonen Jump heroines. Okay. I haven't seen this yet. If anyone is still watching my videos after I dropped half the series I was reading, do let me know if this is out. Like, if we can look at this poster. Because I do like Taishi's style a lot. Like, I do think it's super cute. And it's also, like, distinctive enough that I don't think, like, I'm sure he might try to emulate the styles of the other characters a bit, but I really hope he doesn't. Like, I do just want to see all of these, like, I assume it's all just girls from series currently running in Jump, but it could be historical Jump girls as well. I would love to see, like, a lot of very, like, especially the detail-heavy characters in his art style. Because his art style is, like, it's not ridiculously chibi, but it is more soft and cute than not. So, like, yeah. It'd be an interesting, like, also, I just think he does good colors in general. So I'm excited to see this poster whenever it shows up. And of course, Boichi being the cute boy, what a wonderful experience this was. I cannot thank you all enough. I mean, good finale thing, especially for a series that, is a limited series. Like, a series that he only ran for 9 weeks, and that he ended on his own terms. Like, there's no bittersweet feeling here. Whereas, like, when a series in Jump usually, like, ends with its final serialization, I usually think of that as being a very bittersweet author comment. Because usually, it doesn't seem like it's ending on its own terms. So, that's nice. It's a good time. Overall, that's Jump. That was Weekly Shonen Jump for the week of December the 22nd, 2019. Why does Luffy's arm say, don't mix oil and water on it? Why is that his catchphrase?
That's always been his catchphrase. That's what he says in every volume.
It's my favorite Luffy quote, don't mix oil and water. Overall, here's my final ranking. I'll also post it down below as always. Do let me know, like, I'm going to try and stick to, like, this number of series, but that doesn't mean I can't move stuff around. So, like, do let me know if there's a series that you really, really want me to bring back or not. Like, if you did, I know I got one comment from someone who picked up Actage and really liked it, but I don't know if anyone, like, watched my old Actage reactions, for instance. If there's anything that you really liked that you would like to see me bring back, I might, but if so, I'm gonna have to drop something else. Like, now that Reboot's gone, I'm definitely, like, not automatically opening up a slot. Like, I might just have one less series next week, but we'll see how it goes. Because I do want to just have less of a recording workload, but I do love all these series, and I do want to keep on reading them. For this moment, though, I think I will just not read anything, like any of, I'll probably read One Piece, because I know Donut really wants me to. And he has brought up the idea of me just, like, sitting in on his reactions, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, that's enough rambling. This was Jump. It was a fun time. I'm excited for this new era of the channel in which I don't read everything I'm reading in Jump on camera. Feels weird, but at the same time, like, it's not sustainable for me right now, so let's see how it goes. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye for now. Nya nya.